Classification of English vocabulary. Acquisition of new words in English vocabulary can be a difficult process considering the heterogeneous nature of the language. Classification of vocabulary on the basis of style and usage can help in simplifying it and thus help in understanding it better. English vocabulary can be classified into three types: foreign words, professional words, jargon words. 1. Foreign words. As English language is used in different parts of the world, words from those areas get added into English as well. French and Latin terms are common in English language. Example: ad hoc, ad infinitum, de facto, etc. 2. Professional words. These words are used in a particular profession and not on the part of commonly used words. These are used mostly in the context of a profession and in discussion related to that profession only. And these words are not easy for a student to understand. Example: addendum, preamble, lexicon, etc. 3. Jargon words. These words are used in a particular subject and we need to have knowledge in that subject matter to understand these words. These words are mostly used for what is known as inside talk in that subject. Discussions and criticisms in that subject are mostly held using these words. Jargon words are not easy for every student to understand, and for this reason, they should be avoided in everyday communication. In this chapter, we are giving you a list of 3 types of words. These word lists have been made after careful study of the patterns of various examinations and thus will help you in your preparation for these sections. Foreign words. List of Latin words: abacus, counting table, ancient calculator, ab antiquo, from the ancient times, an extra, from beyond, without, ab hinc, from here on, ab initio, from the beginning, ab intra, from within, ab invito, unwillingly, ab origin, from the source, ab irato, words, actions by an angry person. AD, Anno Domini, Christian era, years after the birth of Jesus. A fortiori, with strength. Ad interim, for the meantime. Ad lib, ad libitum, an instruction or freedom to improvise in performance, communication. Ad referendum, to refer for further consideration. Ad rem, to the matter in hand. At some, formal answer to a roll call. Aesop, writer of fables. Albion, Britain, the ancient Greek word for Britain. Alpha denotes the first of something. Alter ego, secondary personality. Alumnus, graduate or student of an educational institution. A mensa et toro, legal separation, divorce. Amor, love. Antebellum, before war. Antemeridium, AM, before midday or noon. Apex, peak, pinnacle. Arbiter, judge, controller. Australis, southern land. Bis indi, bid, twice in a day. Bon voyage, an organized expression. Goodwill at the start of trip. Bona fide, good faith. Ceteris paribus, all things being equal. Casus theodoris, situation causing action under a treaty. Cerebrum, brain. Certiorari, a writ issued by a high court for document from a lower court for the purpose of reviewing the lower court's decision. Circa, around or approximately. Corrigenda, items to be corrected. Curriculum vitae, the course of one's life. Cursor, positional marker on an electronic display. Dedicto or de-re, to mark a distinction in intentional statement. Debut, first appearance on stage. De die in diem, continuously. De gratia, by the grace of God. De jure, according to law. Detour, indirect way. Dio Valente, God willing, de novo, a new or refreshed way. Defensor fortis, defender of forces. Dum spiro spero, while I breathe, I hope. E contrario, on the contrary. Editio Princeps, first edition. Exempli Gracia, for example. Ergo, therefore, et al. And others, etc. and the rest. Et sec and the following on. Ex animo, from the heart. Except permission to let go. Ex gratia, as a favor. Exit, an act of leaving a place. Ex parte, from one side only. Ex post facto, with retrospective action or force. Et hoc genus omni, and all that sort of thing. Ex aequo, in an equal state. Ex cathedra, from the chair. Ex deo, from God. Ex facie, on the basis of its face or what is apparent. Ex infra, from below in this writing. Ex lege, from the law. Ex mere moto, of one's own accord. Ex officio, by virtue of office or position. Expert to crede, trust the expert. Extra omnes, outside all. Facted, non-verba, actions speak louder than words. Helodese, suicide. Fide et amor, by faith and love. Facsimile, make a similar thing. Forte, a thing at which someone excels. Fumus boni iuris, a legal principle. Fundamenta, unshakable foundation. Gratia et scientia, grace and learning. Gracious tibi ago, thank you. Gratis, grace. Gradating, ferocited, by degrees ferociously. Gens una sumus, we are one people. Gesta non verba, deeds, not words. Habeas corpus, a writ requiring a person under arrest to be brought forth a judgment or into court. Hac lege, with this law. Hic et nunc, here and now. Hic jacet, iacet, arlies. Hoc anno, this year. Hoc loco, at this point. Honoris causa, for the sake of honor. Hoc genus omne, all that crowd, people. Homo sapiens, human beings. Horas omne, at the hour of sleep. Id, idem, the same. In medias res, into the middle of things. In absentia, in one's absence. Incipit, here begins. Imperium, imperio, an order within an order. In actu, in act. In casu, in the event. In foro, in forum. In illo tempore, in that time. In loco, in the place, on the spot. In nous, in a nut. In pari materia, upon the same matter or subject. In extenso, in the extended. In extremis, in the furthest reaches. In posse, potentially. In statu quo, in the state. Inter alia, among other things. Internos, between us. Ipso facto, by the fact itself. Justitia omnibus, justice for all. Lapsus linguae, error of tongue. Lex loci, law of the place. Lex non scripta, law not written. Lex scripta, law written. Lis sub judice, lawsuit before the judge. Loco citato, looks it, in the place cited, work. Locus in quo, place in which. Magister artium, master of arts. Magnum opus, great work. Malafide, with bad faith. Malum prohibitum, wrong according to law. Mandamus, instruction from a higher court to a lower court. Manu propria, signed with one's own hand. Medicinae doctor, MD, doctor of medicine. Non obstante, notwithstanding. Non prosecutor, judgment in favor of a defendant. non-sequitur, an inadequately supported claim; obiter dictum, an incidental remark by a judge in court; opere citato, opposite, in the work cited; opus Dei, the work of God; oratio recta, direct speech; oratio obliqua, indirect speech; orbis unum, one world; parole, bail to a prisoner; paucis verbis, briefly; per annum, annually; per capita, for each person individually; per centum, percent, rate out of 100; per contra, on the other hand; per diem, by each day; per mensem, monthly; per se, exclusively, specifically; persona grata, acceptable and welcomed person; persona non grata, not accepting a person; placet, approved, it pleases; plebeius, the common people; post meridiem, PM, afternoon; post mortem, after death; postscript, PS, a footnote written after the preceding message but before sending; prima facie, at first sight; pro forma, as a matter of formality, a standard document; per, by, through, by means of; pro rata, proportionately; punctatium, point by point; quid, QED, quod erat demonstrandum, proof, evidence has been provided as intended; quaque hora, QH, every hour; quorum, the minimum number of members of an assembly or society that must be present at any of its meetings to make the proceedings of that meeting valid, of whom; recto verso, left, right, left; regnat populus, ruling people; recusat in pace, RIP, rest in peace; Roma Invicta, inspirational motto inscribed on the statue of Rome; res gestae, things done; rationo soli, according to the ground; ratio legis, reasoning of law; sapere aude, dare to know; seratim, one of a series, part of, in a series; sine die, without any future date being designated; sine mora, without delay; sine prole, without children; socius criminis, partner criminal; sub judice, under trial; sub nomine, refer to the name of the person, party taking action; sub peona, under a penalty; semper vigilans, always vigilant; terra firma, firm land; totus tuus, totally yours; tite et tite, private talk; tour de force, a feat of strength or skill; terindi, TID, thrice in a day; ultra vires, beyond pars; ultima ratio, the last reason or argument; ultimo mense, in the last month; ut infra, as below; ut retro, as backwards; ut supra, as above; variorum, denoting comments, interpretations by various people; verbi gratia, for example; versus, against; veto, to disallow or prevent something; via, a way by a road; via media, middle way; vice versa, in turned position; wide, see, consult, used as an instruction in a text to refer something; viva voce, orally; vox populi, voice of the people; vendetta, family feud; vis-a-vis, opposite, face to face; vis legis, power of the law. Professional words. Phobia. Phobia shows the fear of a thing, person, situation. Example: hydrophobia, fear of water; acrophobia, fear of height. List of phobia words: ablutophobia, intense fear of bathing; acarophobia, intense fear of insects which cause itching; acerophobia, intense fear of tastes which are sour, bitter, or sharp; Acluophobia, intense fear of darkness. Acousticophobia, intense fear of noise, sound. Acrophobia, intense fear of heights. Aeroacrophobia, intense fear of open spaces or high space places. Aerophobia, intense fear of flying. Aerophobia, intense fear of drafts or fresh air. Agilophobia, intense fear of pain. Agrizophobia, intense fear of wild animals. Agyrophobia, intense fear of crossing roads. Echmophobia, intense fear of needles or pointed objects. Ailur- Ailurophobia, intense fear of cats. Alliumphobia, intense fear of garlic. Allodoxophobia, intense fear of people's opinion, confrontations, arguments. Amathophobia, intense fear of dust. Ambulophobia, intense fear of walking. Amnesiophobia, intense fear of amnesia or fear of forgetting. Anablephobia, intense fear of looking up or looking into the sky. Androphobia, intense fear of men. Anginophobia, intense fear of angina or choking. Anglophobia, intense fear of England, English culture. Angrophobia, intense fear of anger. Anthophobia, intense fear of flowers. Anthrophobia, intense fear of people or society. Antlophobia, intense fear of floods. Anuptophobia, intense fear of staying single. Aperophobia, intense fear of infinity. Apiphobia, intense fear of bees. Aquaphobia, intense fear of water. Arachnophobia, intense fear of spiders. Arithmophobia, intense fear of numbers. Astrophobia, intense fear of thunder and lightning. Ataxophobia, intense fear of disorder or untidiness. Atelophobia, intense fear of imperfection. Atesiophobia, intense fear of failure. Autophobia, intense fear of being alone. Asymmetric phobia, intense fear of asymmetrical things. Etiphobia, intense fear of ruin. Bacteriophobia, intense fear of bacteria. Ballistophobia, intense fear of missiles or bullets. Barophobia, intense fear of gravity. Bathophobia, intense fear of depth. Bibliophobia, intense fear of books. Blinophobia, intense fear of slime. Blosiphobia, intense fear of Bolsheviks. Buffonophobia, intense fear of toads. Cacophobia, intense fear of ugliness. Caligniphobia, intense fear of beautiful women. Cancerophobia, intense fear of cancer. Cardiophobia, intense fear of heart. Carnophobia, intense fear of meat. Catotrophobia, intense fear of mirrors or one's own reflection. Xenophobia, intense fear of empty spaces. Chemophobia, intense fear of cold. Chemophobia, intense fear of chemicals or working with chemicals. Cheerophobia, intense fear of gaiety. Xenophobia, intense fear of snow. Chiroptophobia, intense fear of bats. Chorophobia, intense fear of dancing. Chromatophobia, intense fear of money. Chromophobia, intense fear of colors. Chronometrophobia, intense fear of clocks. Claustrophobia, intense fear of confined spaces. Klesiophobia, intense fear of being locked in an enclosed place. Kleptophobia, intense fear of stealing. Cyberphobia, intense fear of computer or working on a computer. Cynophobia, intense fear of dogs. Decidophobia, intense fear of making decisions. Demetophobia, intense fear of insanity. Dermatophobia, intense fear of skin lesions. Demophobia, intense fear of crowds. Dendrophobia, intense fear of trees. Diabetophobia, intense fear of diabetes. Didascalenophobia, intense fear of going to school. Dicaphobia, intense fear of justice. Dipsophobia, intense fear of alcohol. Doxophobia, intense fear of expressing opinions or of receiving praise. Dromophobia, intense fear of crossing streets. Dysticiphobia, intense fear of accidents. Electrophobia, intense fear of electricity. Lithrophobia, intense fear of freedom. Anisophobia, intense fear of criticism. Esophobia, intense fear of dawn. Epistemophobia, intense fear of knowledge. Erythrophobia, intense fear of red color. Erythrophobia, intense fear of red lights or blushing. Eophobia, intense fear of hearing good news. Febriphobia, intense fear of fever. Felinophobia, intense fear of cats. Francophobia, intense fear of France or French culture. Gamophobia, intense fear of marriage. Giletophobia, intense fear of being laughed at. Gephyrophobia, intense fear of bridges or crossing bridges. Glossophobia, intense fear of speaking in public. Gynophobia, intense fear of women. Graphophobia, intense fear of writing. Hadophobia, intense fear of hell. Hagiophobia, intense fear of religious relics or holy things. Harpaxophobia, intense fear of being robbed. Hemophobia, intense fear of blood. Hippophobia, intense fear of horses. Homiclophobia, intense fear of fog. Hydrophobia, intense fear of water. Hypnophobia, intense fear of sleep or being hypnotized. Epigiophobia, intense fear of responsibility. Hypsiphobia, intense fear of height. Iatrophobia, intense fear of doctors. Ideophobia, intense fear of ideas. Iophobia, intense fear of poison. Islamophobia, intense fear of Muslims, the Islamic religion. Isapterophobia, intense fear of termites, insects that eat into wood. Japanophobia, intense fear of Japanese. Judeophobia, intense fear of Jews. Kakorhophilophobia, intense fear of failure. Katsaridophobia, intense fear of cockroaches. Kinophobia, intense fear of voids or empty spaces. Kinesiophobia, intense fear of movement or motion. Copophobia, intense fear of fatigue. Coniophobia, intense fear of dust. Chymophobia, intense fear of waves. Lachanophobia, intense fear of vegetables. Laliophobia, intense fear of speaking. Leprophobia, intense fear of leprosy. Leucophobia, intense fear of white color. Lilapsophobia, intense fear of tornadoes or hurricanes. Lipnophobia, intense fear of lake. Lipophobia, intense fear of fatty food. Logophobia, intense fear of words. Macroxenoglossophobia, intense fear of long and strange words. Maniophobia, intense fear of insanity or going insane. Megalophobia, intense fear of large, oversized objects. Melissophobia, intense fear of bees. Melophobia, intense fear of music. Metathesiophobia, intense fear of making changes. Nemophobia, intense fear of memories. Monophobia, intense fear of solitude or being alone. Musophobia, intense fear of mice. Necrophobia, intense fear of death. Noctiphobia, intense fear of night. Nomophobia, intense fear of not having mobile phone or computer. Novercaphobia, intense fear of stepmother. Nosocophobia, intense fear of hospitals. Obesophobia, intense fear of gaining weight. Ocophobia, intense fear of vehicles. Octophobia, intense fear of number 8. Odontophobia, intense fear of dentist. Omniphobia, intense fear of everything. Onirophobia, intense fear of dreams. Ombrophobia, intense fear of rain. Ornithophobia, intense fear of birds. Philophobia, intense fear of love. Phobophobia, intense fear or phobias. Phonophobia, intense fear of sounds. Poinephobia, intense fear of punishment. Pyrophobia, intense fear of fire. Rytiphobia, intense fear of getting wrinkles. Sedatophobia, intense fear of silence. Siderodromophobia, intense fear of trains, railways. Selacophobia, intense fear of sharks. Somniphobia, intense fear of sleep. Celaphobia, intense fear of light flashes. Sophophobia, intense fear of learning. Soterophobia, intense fear of dependence on others. Stratsibasiophobia, intense fear of standing or walking. Tachophobia, intense fear of speed. Testophobia, intense fear of taking tests. Thalassophobia, intense fear of sea. Thanatophobia, intense fear of death. Tramatophobia, intense fear of injury. Trypanophobia, intense fear of injection. Ranophobia, intense fear of heaven. Verbophobia, intense fear of words. Xenophobia, intense fear of strangers or foreigners. Zoophobia, intense fear of God. Zoophobia, intense fear of animals. Logography and nomy means a thorough study of a particular subject. Example, gynecology, the study of women's disease. Epigraphy, the study of ancient inscription. Astronomy, the scientific study of stars, planets, and other objects in outspace. Etiology, the study of cause of disease. Agrostology, the study of grasses. Agronomy, the study of scientific farming. Anthropology, the study of mankind. Archaeology, the study of excavation and early civilization. Cardiology, the study of heart. Cosmology, the study of universe. Cardiology, the study of skulls. Cryptology, the study of codes. Cytology, the study of cells. Dactyology, Dactylology, the study of sign language. Dendrology, study of trees. Dermatology, study of skin. Ecology, the study of environment. Endocrinology, the study of glands. Entomology, the study of insects. Eschatology, the study of life after death. Ethnology, the study of the characteristics of different people and the differences and relationship between them. Genealogy, the study of ancestry. Genetics, the study of heredity. Gerontology, the study of old age and the process of growing old. Gynecology, the study of women's disease. Hematology, the study of blood. Hydrology, the study of water. Ichthyology, the study of fishes. Odontology, the study of teeth. Oncology, the study of tumors. Neurology, study of dreams. Ontology, study of existence. Ophiology, the study of snakes. Ophthalmology, the study of eyes. Ornithology, the study of birds. Osteology, the study of bones. Linguistics, the study of languages. Meteorology, the study of weather. Numismatics, the study of coins, banknotes, and medals. Neurology, the study of nervous system. Pedology, the study of children's behavior. Paleontology, the study of fossils. Pathology, the study of diseases. Pedology, the study of soil. Philology, the study of how languages or words develop. Seismology, the study of earthquakes. Stomatology, the study of mouth diseases. Theology, the study of religion and beliefs. Toxicology, the study of toxic substances, poisons. Rhinology, the study of nose diseases. Zymology, the study of enzymes. Graphy, cartography, the art of map making. Choreography, the sequence of steps and movements in dance or figure skating. Demography, the study of population. Epigraphy, the study of ancient inscriptions. Lexicography, the making or compiling of dictionary. Paleography, the study of ancient manuscripts. Nomi, aeronomy, the branch of science that deals with the upper atmosphere of the Earth and other planets. Agronomy, the science of soil management and crop production. Anatomy, the branch of science concerned with the bodily structure of human, animals, or other living organisms. Astronomy, the branch of science which deals with celestial objects, space, and the physical universe as whole. Biostrationomy, the study of the process that takes place following the death of an organism but before its final burial. Chematozone, Chematozoonomy, the classification of plants and animals based on similarities and differences in biochemical composition. Chironomy, the art of directing the singing of chants by hand gestures, indicating the rise and fall of the melody. Chrononomy, method of reckoning and measuring time. Cytotaxonomy, the classification of the organism on the basis of function and structure of the cells. Dactylonomy, the use of one's finger to express number. Demonomy, the dominion of demons. Deuteronomy, the fifth book of Old Testament, contains a second statement of Mosaic law. Economy, careful management of available resources. Idonomy, study of the external appearance of an organism. Ergonomy, science that is used to study the relation between workers and their environments. Ethnoastronomy, the anthropological study of sky watching in contemporary society. Gastronomy, the art of preparing and eating good food. Geonomy, the study of the physical properties of the earth. Haptonomy, the holistic approach to pregnancy and childbirth. Heteronomy, the state or condition of being ruled, governed, or under the sway of another. Histonomy, the science which treats of the laws relating to organic tissues. Homonomy, the homology of parts arranged in transverse axes. Isonomy, equality before law. Organonomy, the biological laws regulating organic life. Phytonomy, the science of origin and growth of plants. Plutonomy, the study of production and distribution of wealth. Taphonomy, the study of the fate of the remains of organisms after they die. Taxonomy, the science or technique used to make a classification. Theonomy, the state of being governed by God. Toponymy, the study of place names. Mania. Mania is a mental illness in which a person has an excessive desire of or interest in a person or a thing. Kleptomania, a strong desire to steal things. Plutomania, excessive desire for wealth. List of mania words. Anthomania, excessive desire of flowers. Ablutomania, excessive desire of washing and bathing. Agromania, excessive desire of being alone or out in the open. Bibliomania, excessive desire of book collection. Cynomania, excessive desire of dogs. Choreomania, excessive desire of dancing. Dipsomania, excessive desire of alcohol. Doromania, excessive desire of giving gifts. Dromomania, excessive desire of travel. Drapitomania, excessive desire of run away from home. Eulogomania, excessive desire for eulogies. Entheomania, excessive desire of religion. Ergomania, excessive desire of work. Erythromania, excessive desire of freedom. Gamomania, excessive desire of marry again and again. Graphomania, excessive desire of writing. Hedomania, excessive desire of pleasure. Hippomania, excessive desire of horses. Hagiomania, excessive desire of sainthood. Informania, excessive desire of accumulating facts. Islomania, excessive desire of islands. Kleptomania, excessive desire of stealing things. Lalomania, excessive desire of talking. Macromania, excessive delusion that objects are larger than natural size. Megalomania, excessive desire for money, name, and fame. Melomania, excessive desire of music. Mythomania, excessive desire of telling lies. Morphinomania, excessive desire for morphine. Narcomania, uncontrollable craving for narcotics. Nosomania, excessive delusion of suffering from a disease. Oniomania, excessive desire or craze for wine. Onomatomania, irresistible desire to repeat certain words. Opiomania, excessive desire of opium. Opsomania, excessive love for one kind of food. Phagomania, excessive desire of food or eating. Phaneromania, mania of biting one's nails. Phytomania, excessive desire of collecting plants. Planomania, excessive desire of disobey social norms. Plutomania, excessive desire of money. Polmomania, excessive desire for war. Politicomania, excessive desire for politics. Sophomania, excessive delusion that one is incredible in light. Squanderomania, excessive desire of spending money wastefully. Stampomania, excessive desire of stamp collecting. Technomania, excessive desire for technology. Ranomania, excessive desire of idea of divinity. Webomania, excessive desire for words. Xenomania, excessive attachment to foreign things. Zoomania, excessive fondness for animals. Sophie. Sophie means intelligence, learning or knowledge of something. It shows acquired knowledge of a person in a particular subject. Example, philosophy, a particular system of beliefs, values, and principles. Theosophy, teaching about God and the world based on mystical insights. List of Sophie words. Chairosophy, the art of reading the character that is deli- delineated in the hand. Cosmosophy, a body of belief or theory about the cosmos. Gastrosophy, the science or art of good eating. Misosophy, hatred of wisdom. Ontosophy, a comprehensive explanation for being. Osophy, an academic discipline or field such as philosophy, theosophy, etc. Paleosophy, ancient learning or thoughts. Pansophy, a system of universal knowledge. Philosophy, a study of ideas about knowledge, truth, nature, and meaning of life, etc. Physiosophy, the body of wisdom about nature. Pseudosophy, falsely philosophical. Psychosophy, the metaphysics of mind. Rhabdosophy, gesturing with a rod to convey what one is talking about. Sciosophy, false or pretended knowledge of science or natural phenomena. Theosophy, teaching about God and the world based on mystical insight. And philosophy, not adhering to philosophical theory or principles. Philia. Philia means fondness or love for a person or a thing. It also denotes attraction towards something or someone. Hippophilia, the love for horses. Zoophilia, the love for animals. List of philia words. Ailurophilia, a fondness or love for cats or other felines. Androphilia, sexual attraction to men. Anglophilia, the love of the country, culture, or people of England. Anthophilia, the love for flowers. Armenophilia, unusual administration or partiality for the Armenian people, culture, or language. Astrophilia, a love for planets, stars, and outer space.